All right, it's kind of late for me. I usually do lectures and stuff in the morning, but I was gonna put this on Snapchat, but it's not even because of my nieces. They are be like, "Ooh, you in your feelings?" stuff like that. I will put it on Snapchat anyway. But the fact is, it's been about a year since I did a lecture on like relationships and stuff like that. But all this stuff's been coming to me, so I think it's really needed. So I think this is really important for me to give some true relationship advice and just love if you're operating on a frequency of love in general. So I think it's a good time to give advice for those people. And now I put it in this forum. If you're on YouTube right now, make sure you click subscribe. Subscribe to my link. If you're on Facebook, share this post. If there's stuff that that I'm saying that really resonates with you. So at the end of the day, it's sad to say, in my 32 years of life, I could probably count on my hand still, on one hand, and I don't even think it's full. It might be two or three real relationships that I saw. And when I say real, I mean ones where one person is not totally cheating on somebody else behind their back. There's not one person in there where one's insecure or don't love themselves completely, so they're just dealing with anything. One where there's not people unequally yoked. One where, okay, you see they just settled for each other. So it's really sad. I've only had an inspiration. I've only seen maybe two or three in my entire life, a very few, limited amount of stable, equally yoked relationships where they grow each other and they build upon each other and really grow and bring value. That's what you should be doing in any type of relationship, friendship, or ship. A ship is designed to take you places. So it's sad to say that I've only seen two, but I have the wisdom, and I know what the recipe is for a great relationship. Even though I've been in a lot of things, I'm definitely a giver, and I help a lot of people. And you see me doing that, but that makes it a vulture for people to take advantage of you. So one thing I want to speak to, because through what I've been through and just life and me just finding myself and discovering myself, I have a high level of confidence and I love myself. So a lot of other friends that are very loving like me, they'll just kind of take anything and not correct that person. So I don't play any of that kind of, I'm trying to do this but without cussing. We'll see how it goes. But, but I really think this is really important advice. You really have to love yourself first. Um, and also, another thing people do too, they're looking for what they're missing, right, in self inside a relationship. So they'll jump from relationship to relationship, not realizing, what's going on the self. So my advice first, it starts off with the people. This is for the people that are resonating on the high frequency of this earth, on the love frequency, not the selfish type of. If they're vibrating on the frequency love, this is my advice to you guys, especially if you're kind of new in your journey, you don't have the strength to kind of like confidence in yourself to be like still be, don't have the world turn you cold. You still need to be loving, but while you're working on yourself and you're discerning and learning how to use your instinct and your wisdom, because your first mind, your God mind, it never lies to you. So when you're learning your instinct before you get sucked in with this with these negative people, or these people that are vultures that just want to kind of take off your energy, be very selective of who you choose to share your energy and share your space with. That's what you have to like. You have to kind of slow down, like being so loving. You think everyone's like you on your frequency, but at the end of the day, what I realized too, a person that doesn't love their self isn't, and they're incapable of loving you right. So a lot of people are actually, there's issues, they have major mental issues going on, stem from childhood, that they haven't worked with and tried to fix and develop. And they have a problem with loving themselves. Someone who doesn't love themselves can never love you completely. That relationship won't work. And so that's one thing I see a lot. I see people that said whatever void they're feeling or them not loving themselves, lack of self-love, they take time and jump. They go jump relationship, or talk to this person, instead of discovering what's missing within inside self. You're a complete person. It doesn't take another person to complete you. You're fully in your whole. And if you're missing a void, you need to get over that shit. Well, it's too late. You need to get over that and be able to be lonely at times, be able to be vulnerable, be weak within yourself, because what you don't need to be is keep searching for what you're missing in yourself inside someone else. You'll never find that. So you're going to continue jumping relationship. Everything's not going to be satisfied. Your emotions will be up and down. You're in love with them this one day. You want to marry them this one day. The next day, okay, it's completely something wrong. Same thing with friendships. Same thing with other people. There was nothing. I met a girl at a club. Very, very, very attractive. A 19-year-old girl. And she still, at the end of the day, she had a level of wisdom. That's what I say it's really about mentalists, right? That most people talk about age groups and stuff like that. A lot of the 30-year-olds and stuff like that, they don't get it. 30s, 36s, 40s, even in a lot of people, even in their 50s, are immature as hell. So, like, at the end of the day, people talk about things and talk about age groups is totally, if we live in a mental plane, a lot of y'all are immature mentally and emotionally, like just being adult or being I hate even saying that word, like being wise, right? That's what you should be focusing on. Being wise is more than just paying fucking bills. Y'all like are ABCs when you're on like elementary level when it comes on relationship or like discovering who you are in yourself. So y'all been jumping to you 100 damn partners, you jump into 100 damn relationships, and you're jumping from this and this, and every time you're blaming the fucking person, obviously you're attracting something that's bringing you, like at the end of the day when I hear women, oh men ain't shit, blah blah, what's wrong with you where you're attracting all these piece of shit men? Same thing with vice versa. What's wrong with you where you're attracting all these fucked up women? There's something wrong with you, and that's the issue. Like if you're not complete, you're always going to be missing something. Also, relationships, sometimes there are lessons that you have to learn. So you have to be, yourself comes first. So you have to be strong in yourself, because sometimes relationship is a test or a lesson that you need to learn. Mine definitely was patience, because like with anybody, I always know, and then like I said, I'll let it go. And I used to be like, oh, I'm very judgmental or blah blah, but it's not judgmental. It's wisdom and it's wise. It's my first mind. So my first instinct has never been wrong. Never. My God, mine has never been wrong. Just emotionally, I'll let it go. Like, oh, well, maybe just me tripping. I'll take a chance. I've never been wrong, so I don't never not fall off my instinct. If I feel something, I shoot like a gun, and I'd rather be an asshole and be told no, and or some type of bullshit, because sometimes people don't even know themselves, and I'm able to assess people without them even having full knowledge of self. Like, I know them better than they know themselves, because they're out here, they don't love their self, and they're incomplete, and they're trying to find something from someone else. So I know people better than they know themselves sometimes. Straight up. Real talk. So like, from my experience, I've never been wrong. So I operate in my God mind. And the more you operate in the level of truth, you'll piss a lot of people off, because people talk a lot of shit about life, but most people are not honest and don't want to tell the truth. So that went on a whole another tangent. But my first thing was here for people that are still loving. Be very loving, but be selective about who you love. Also, equally yoked is a big deal. Be with someone who's equally yoked. And then if you're in a relationship, any type of relationship, friendship, whatever, if that person is trying to change you, that's not the right person. And vice versa for you. Because at the end of the day, why are we trying to change people? However they are right now, not potential, not this, not that. Be with that. If you cannot be with that person as they are, don't be with them. Period. If you're constantly trying to change them, or that person's constantly trying to change you, that's not going to work. Let it go. Save yourself. Save yourself the headache. Just let it go. Like again, you have to have. I just cannot be in a state anymore where someone else is bringing me down or feeling like they're beneath me, because it's actually a reflection of their own insecurities. Because people only speak out what reflection upon themselves. And like I said, most of these people are operating, unfortunately, in a level of insanity, and they think that, certain things are just normal. So another relationship advice, don't get with anyone time, right? So, okay, my major thing was patience. So I've learned lessons in relationships and life and friendships and blah, blah. Patience was something that I had to work through. So I would get these situations that would test, my patience. So like, again, make sure you're with someone who is your best friend, because you're not going to do your best friend any type of way. Like Zaira, as prime example, was my best friend. So think about someone that has that quality. Someone's your best friend is not going to talk to somebody else behind your fucking back if that's truly your best friend. Someone that's your best friend is not going to do you any type of way when you know that a person really loves you. Also, with things about patience as well, like I give a prime example. People I get hit on all the time, like someone attracted to me or want to have sex with me, that doesn't impress me because it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who can love me, be my best friend, and grow my empire and with me and beyond my empire on an even higher level. I can't even date anyone who's not spiritual. Also, from talking to someone I used to talk to, which I didn't understand why, but I realized now why she was the way she was, because most people are full of shit. I've learned that from my past few experiences, that people really don't operate how I operate. If I say something, then I do it. Most people don't operate that way. So like when I would tell her all kind of stuff, okay, it was like, okay, you got to show me. She was a, I'm not even gonna say that that's gonna give away who it was, but at the end of the day, her sign was more of like an action, type sign towards doing stuff. And now I see why she is, because I've been around so many full of shit people, from like friends, from relationship. They'd be like, okay, dude, and they're completely the opposite, or they're flip flop and they're all over the goddamn place. So like I was like, oh, that's why she was where she was, because a lot of people say stuff and they don't back it up. Just doing that, if you just do that as a person, that's gonna differentiate you from miles different. So like building your confidence within yourself, like at the end of the day, like you have to confide in yourself. If there's anything where you have to go out to seek attention and get energy or be put on a pedestal from other people, people are fickle. So they're just as fickle as those little dandelions or the little sand squirrels. Just a shift of wind, a leaf, they goddamn gone. If you think about people in that way, all your stuff will be within yourself. I don't know how it make it if I didn't come through things internally, because there'll be sometimes that your family's not even on your side about what direction and stuff that you're going on in your life. So you really have to be confident within yourself. So for the people that are truly good people, this really was for you. Stay true to your path, because I'm still a good person, but I'm also very tough too. So I don't really take much bullshit, and I don't really entertain much bullshit on the outside of you telling me what I'm not trying to hear. But at the end of the day, if you're a genuine person and you're a loving person, for the people that I choose to show that side of me, I continue to, because there needs to be love in the world. You feel me? There's sick people, there's homeless people, there are people that are trying to do, and they just need someone to love and care from. So learn what you all should do is pray for discernment, so you can see through people. Like, because I'm patient on things I need to be patient on, but patience for bullshit, I have no time. Don't explain that you did some fucked up shit. Be strong enough to admit that you did some fucked up shit. And I'm not coming here from like a high horse, because I've done it as well. But the thing about me is I admit it. I've cheated before. I've been with people, I've been in relationships before, but the level that I operate on now, I don't operate on that level anymore. It's just someone being attractive is not good enough for me. Back in there, if there's attractive, that's good. Okay, boom. I'll talk to that person just because on the fact that they're attractive. My standards are astronomical. So, but I'm an astronomical being, and that's how I see. But I have a high level of confidence and high esteem. So someone needs to be like God level. You know what I'm saying, to date me, and that's how I do it. Like, it's not, you got to be on point on every level, but at the same time, being on point, then I held myself to that high esteem. I held myself in regard. I just basically, like the Migos song, I walk it like I talk it. I'm not going to be contradicting myself. I'm not going to live a life that's not a reflection of who I am trying to be and what example I'm trying to set to the world. Like a living example. Mistakes at all, a living example. What I'm speaking, I'm being, I'm action. That's who I am. I'm not going to speak and do anything that's not in terms of my mission and my path, or who I am, or what I'm trying to reflect out to the world and out to the universe and get it back. Because the one thing about karma is also it's the universal law, it will come. So rather than the one thing about truth, that's why I was hit with people with truth. Like when they might say anything to you, bullshit, or say anything to themselves, like to make themselves feel better, but when they look in the mirror, because we all are part of this one universal spirit, this universal truth. When you look in the mirror, truth is going to hit you, be like, oh, I'm a fucked up motherfucker, and I can't even look at myself in the mirror. So that's why no matter what, whether somebody admits they're wrong or not, I'm going to speak truth to them, and that's going to strike their soul, because your soul is truth. You feel me? So it doesn't tolerate bullshit. So that conscience is the same thing. Get a work thing, same thing like a child. Say a child is 2 or 3 years old. You don't need a book to tell you what's right or wrong. You know what's right or wrong. Say your mom, you're 2 or 3 years old, you're in the mall, your mom was like, hey, Go take that candy. Don't tell me. In that child's mind, even at 2 or 3 years old, and they're thinking like, man, nah, that's wrong. There's something. That's why they'll hesitate, even if their parent tells them, because like it's not right. You have that instinctually in you, so I don't want to hear that making up excuses. I don't deal with in terms of excuses. You either do it or you don't. You either did it or you didn't. You're either righteous or you're not, and that's just what it is. Period. So that's my advice on that. That's my spiel. If you're loving, stay loving. If you're still learning the process of discernment, be selective with your energy and stop rushing into a relationship. Build friends with them first. And like I said, if you're at a point where you love yourself, you're not going to even be around any type of person or any type of relationship, friendship, or anything that's not building you. Because, like I said, these are not things that are just the way they are. Just to say, these are universal laws. And if you don't know the universal laws, look them up. Go to Google. This is much easier time than when I was younger. Like, to me, there's no excuse not knowing anything. This is a computer in your hand. If you don't have, everybody got a damn fancy phone. If you don't have internet, if you don't have like a laptop, before you had to go to the library or someplace to look up this stuff. You can look all this on your phone thanks to Google. You don't even type it. You could like say, okay, Google, universal laws, speak them out to me. So at the end of the day, so there's different laws of equivalent change. Same thing with equally yoke. The basis from that comes from a universal law. So if someone up here and someone's right here, the way their energy works, either you're gonna have the other person gonna have to rise or go down. So that's why you have to date someone at your level. Because if they're not at your level, they're either gonna pull you. If they don't rise up, they're gonna pull you down with it. That's just the way the energy works. Atoms, ion, positive, negative. That's the way energy works. We're energy beings first. Y'all have to understand that. Y'all have to get this. So this is law. This is science. That's why it works. Like relationships and all these things, these are sciences. These are high sciences. So like, you have to be really scientific with it. So like, attract what you're going to put out in the universe. So if you don't love yourself and you mixing all these things, you're going to continue to attract these things that makes you work on the areas that you need to work on within yourself first. And then, but if you ever love yourself, you're not going to put up with anything. You're not going to just waste time. You're not going to just hear all of this bullshit people are telling you when you have like a high esteem and a high love yourself for yourself. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. I'm at a great space into like where after my past relationship where, I worked on things that I need to do, which is patience. And I'm okay. I'm a loving person, and I'm okay with if I'm with someone, I really love them. So that's why at the end of the day, that's a lesson in patience. So you don't need to be with someone. I can't just be with somebody that's just attracted to me, like who's just physically attracted to me. Like if you don't fully love me and are willing to build and are strong friends, like a strong friendship, I can't do it. And at the same, and then first, like I said, first and foremost, extremely spiritual, but living that, not just saying it. That's a new thing too. Like everybody, like I said, and then a relationship before that, she showed that to me, and then I physically seen it in other people. Because one thing I do give her credit, she lived by what she said, but there's certain things that she's still loving in herself where she couldn't be. She's still working on being completely free. I'm completely free. And, I learned that a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just myself. Like, and it's okay. Certain people need to work on that, being themselves. But at least she's a loving person and she wasn't fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, they don't really love you, but they're attracted or certain stuff they get, or like, oh, this person. It has to be way, 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 way more than that. Because I can't just deal with somebody's attracted to me, because there's a bunch of people that's attracted. You're actually like a fucking squirrel, like a dog or something. Like, there's one person, whoop, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. No, like, no. I can't deal with that. And then, like I said, a lot of stuff there to be chasing. It's really the fact that you got to be with so many people, or you got to just jump to this, that shows that's an incompletion within yourself, and then that wouldn't work anyway. Because if you don't love yourself fully, you can't love me. Period. So, and that's why, like with me, it definitely takes time, and it's beyond like, are you attractive? It's beyond. It's like, okay, do you want to be my best friend first? And then from there, it's like, how are you growing? So like y'all gotta slow it down, and like I said, I'm talking to myself, and I'm talking to some of my friends that kind of experience this kind of thing, and it's definitely really for them. It's definitely for the few handful of people that I see that are extremely loving and I don't want them to change. There needs to be love. There needs to definitely be more love in the world. And just because there's a bunch of snake ass people and shady people and full of shit people, doesn't mean that you need to change who you are. You continue to be that beacon of light. Continue to be that beacon of love, and just radiate out in the universe. And I promise you, it will come back to you. I promise you. It may be hard to see it sometimes, but this is advice for you. This is for the good people. This is for the few good people that are left. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even say few. There's a lot, but like I said, a lot of them are layered like onions, because there's all these predators, you know, out here, energy vampires that are kind of like sucking up your light and sucking up your energy. And I don't have no time for them. Like I'm like throwing fireballs, and basically I'm protecting my kingdom. So if you're a good soul and a good spirit, I'm fighting for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for you. You still there. I'm praying for your protection. I'm praying that your enemies die. Like, I don't even play. Like I said, I'm a lion, you know, at heart. So I don't play that turn the other cheek, kid, blah blah. Let the enemies die because they had no business coming up with you. And this negative energy. This is the frequency of love. This is what the universe was built on. This is what Mother Earth was built on, at that high frequency. So these other frequencies, these lower level frequencies, we don't operate that. I operate in the law of one, the law of one accord. That's the level that I operate in. Anyone who else is on that accord, we're strong, we're a bond, and anything else, anything that comes between that bond, like fire ants or like water, like I said, my Pisces is emotional, imagine mindset, I will destroy it. Period. I'm not playing with y'all no more. So peace, love, and blessings. If you're righteous, that means sometimes you got to be attacked. Sometimes you're not doing what's popular. And like I said, I'm definitely the opposite of that, because a lot of y'all are way too fast. Y'all jumping in relationship, and y'all got mental illnesses. Y'all need to mentally fix yourself before y'all jump from relationship this to this and that to that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to find what's missing within inside self. Because if you're looking for something, right, you don't need to be in no damn relationship. Peace and blessings. One love. If you're operating on love frequency, stay there. Don't let anybody ruin that. Namaste.